Boone County deputy loses his job over a COVID-19 test. We'll tell you why the sheriff says he violated department policy.
The state prepares to release a new data-based roadmap to help safely guide schools through the COVID-19 pandemic. What this means for keeping kids in the classroom. Have you heard of the term twin-demic? That's something doctors want to avoid this year. The step you can take now to help prevent that from happening.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
Welcome in. A Boone County Sheriff's deputy is without a job tonight after a merit board voted to terminate him over a missed COVID-19 test. WRTV's Megan SANCTORUM was the only television reporter at this hearing this morning. She has more from the sheriff and the deputy involved.
Here in Boone County, the Sheriff's Department policy states that all employees must attend scheduled COVID-19 tests unless they're out of the state. The sheriff says this deputy violated that policy. This is Tobias Shepard. He served as a deputy with the Boone County Sheriff's Office, working road patrol. But now a family trip to southern Indiana has cost him his job.
I don't think that it is reasonable to suggest termination.
Shepard declined an interview, but told the merit board he had a vacation planned during his scheduled COVID test. He reached out to leadership, saying he would be gone, and he asked to reschedule it. They did, today saying they assumed he was going out of state. He later posted photos online showing he was actually in southern Indiana, meaning per policy, he was still on the hook for that initial test. He says he didn't think he was, since it had been rescheduled.
It was reasonable for me to believe that what I did, I followed to the letter. I did not refuse to take a test. I did take a test. I didn't miss my test. I took my test. I followed a directive that I thought to be correct at the time.
The sheriff disagrees and says the policy had been emailed out and made very clear to staff. He says 5 others working for the department have been terminated since April due to missing their tests. Those were all civilian employees.
We needed to make sure that the message is very clear out there that this virus is killing people. The positivity rate continues to go up, and we got to do everything we can to protect the people, the inmates that they've entrusted me to care for, and the public, and mostly the staff. And that's what this is about, just making sure we do that.
He says the decision to recommend the deputy's termination wasn't easy, but he feels it was the right thing to do.
It's really, really tough, right? Anytime you've got to get rid of people, especially in this community, you're friends with everybody, it's very, very hard to do.
Working for you, Megan SANCTORUM, WRTV.
And the deputy can appeal this ruling in circuit court. No word yet if he plans to do that. Kevin.
Another gray day in central Indiana. It looks like rain, but most of us have not seen rain today, other than a sprinkle or two. There's the gray cloud cover as you look kind of to the northwest in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. That's the Methodist Hospital complex. If you look up a little bit from that on the horizon, you see the reflectivity of the sun, what little there is off the pyramids there on the northwest side. 0.02 of an inch. That's it. It's in the last 24 hours. That's the rainfall for Indianapolis. Temperature right now is warm as it's been all day. We're at 79 in Indy with the overcast skies. Bloomington's at 76 because you have nearby showers. Some showers from Bedford to Brownstown, Seymour, over to Versailles and North Vernon. These are moving basically to the east. The chance for showers will remain a little higher over the southern half and southern third of the state, not just tonight, but into tomorrow. Temperatures by 10 o'clock only down to 74. We're back in the 80s tomorrow, and it will still be humid, but there are changes on the way. I'll define 3 changes as we move toward the Labor Day weekend coming up.
Thanks, Kevin. Tonight, a map showing the spread of COVID-19 in each county across the state will be released. This will be a way for the public to see how their county compares and for schools to make the best decisions for its students. WRTV's Stephanie Wade breaks this down for us so you know what this will soon mean for your community.
Counties and schools have been looking for more guidance, and more guidance they shall soon receive. Overnight, the state health commissioner, Dr. Christina Bach, says they will be releasing a color-coded map indicating the level of COVID transmission in each county throughout the state. The color or score for each county, however, does not trigger requirements for them to do anything, but are simply suggestions. The colors range from blue to yellow, orange, and red, with blue being the least restrictive and red being the most. To decide the level each county is at each week, the health department will be looking at two metrics: the number of new cases and the percent positivity. For schools, this is where the map becomes important.
Blue indicates minimal community spread. The recommendations would be that schools operate all grades in person, but limit activities where social distancing is not feasible.
It isn't until the red level that the state recommends all grades consider some hybrid of virtual learning. Dr. Box reiterated that the map looked different today than it did last week, and she expects it to change each week depending on the data. Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
The state health department has also sent a survey to school principals to designate a person to handle daily reporting of COVID cases to the state. They plan to build a school dashboard that will be publicly available on their website by the end of the month. And another announcement today impacting schools. Indiana schools will continue to get their funding during the COVID-19 pandemic after a few weeks of uncertainty. Earlier today, the State Board of Education voted to alter its funding formula to count virtual students the same as in-person students for funding purposes. Ordinarily, virtual students only count for 85% of the standard funding, meaning schools that are virtual because of COVID-19 were at risk of not getting their full amounts.
I've said from the very beginning that I'm fully committed to schools getting full funded for students who would normally be in the physical classroom but are attending virtually at the moment.
There will be another count of students in February when the current plan is to return to normal for student funding. And the number of Hoosiers who have tested positive for COVID-19 is now 95,750. 871 additional cases reported today by the state health department. Those results all coming in yesterday. The overall positivity rate remains at 8.8%. The state also reported an additional 13 COVID-19 deaths. They occurred between Friday and yesterday. The statewide total has topped 3,100. And tomorrow we'll hear from Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and Marion County Public Health Director Dr. Virginia Kane, who will give an overview of the COVID-19 picture in Marion County and also update a few aspects of current restrictions. You can watch that live at WRTV.com and on the WRTV at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And it's almost flu season as the coronavirus continues to spread. Medical experts want to make sure that the two illnesses don't collide to create a twindemic. Right now, hospitals are working overtime to treat COVID-19 patients, and they want to make sure flu season does not create chaos. You have probably noticed clinics, pharmacies, and doctors' offices are already starting to make it known that they are offering flu shots.
If enough people get vaccinated, we can reduce the number of flu cases and therefore reduce the burden that's already placed on the hospitals by the pandemic.
Making sure that flu cases stay under control will be key in keeping schools open since they are already battling COVID-19 cases. Tonight at 6, WRTV's Troy Washington speaks to a mother about her concerns for her children. Still ahead on WRTV, are you still waiting for a refund after plans were canceled due to COVID? Advice on how to get your money back coming up. If you don't mind driving in the snow, INDOT may have a job for you. Details on upcoming hiring events and how much you could make, including bonuses. Kyle.
And no snow anytime soon. In fact, our temperature is not going to stray too far away from that 80-degree mark here over the next few days. But I'll let you know what the rest of September may have in store as we go beyond the 7-day forecast. You're watching WRTV News at 5.
Chances are that something you had planned to do in 2020 got canceled due to the COVID pandemic, but many people are growing frustrated because they are still waiting for a refund. Consumer reporter John Matarese has advised to get your money back so you don't waste your money.
From vacation rentals to air travel to concerts, so many things have been canceled due to the pandemic. But the toughest part can be trying to get a refund. Kathy Salfeld had to cancel her family reunion at a Verbo beach house this spring.
It ended up costing us almost $14,000.
Verbo offered a voucher for future travel, but no refund. Eula Williams and Lainey Daly had their Frontier Airlines flight canceled, so they got vouchers, but recently discovered the vouchers had already expired.
There's nothing they can do about it that my money is gone.
And Michelle Harper was planning a summer filled with concerts.
I personally bought Nickelback and the Doobie Brothers.
When they were canceled, Michelle contacted Groupon, where she bought the tickets for a refund.
They were only giving Groupon bucks. They weren't issuing any kind of money back to your cards.
So what can you do if your travel company or event won't give you a refund? Well, the first thing you should do is appeal, then escalate, and then finally, dispute. Appealing can be as simple as calling customer service. Escalating means contacting a supervisor, then sending an email to the company with a copy to the company president. Disputing means filing a complaint first with your credit card, then the Better Business Bureau, finally the state attorney general. We're happy to report that after we worked with Eula Williams, Frontier agreed to extend her vouchers, and Groupon agreed to refund Michelle's concert tickets. We had no luck with Verbo, though, which is only giving vouchers, not full refunds. To protect yourself, pay by credit card, not debit or check. That way, you can dispute a charge and you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, WRTV.
United Airlines plans to furlough about 16,000 employees next month as air travel continues to be hammered by the pandemic. That's still a big number, but fewer than United predicted in July when it warned 36,000 employees could lose their jobs. The number is lower because thousands of United employees took early retirement, buyouts, or long-term leaves of absence. The furloughs would be postponed if Washington approves billions more in payroll aid to the nation's airlines. United already got $5 billion, and that money came with a prohibition on furloughs or layoffs until October 1st. While it's only the second day of September, winter and the snow will be here before you know it, and INDOT is getting prepared with 2 statewide hiring events. INDOT will be hosting open interviews for more than 100 winter seasonal positions. They'll take place Tuesday, September 15th and Thursday, October 15th at 11 locations around the state. They include Indianapolis and Plainfield. Interview times are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. local time. Positions run from November through March with pay starting at $16 an hour. INDOT offers $250 sign-on and $500 retention bonuses. To learn more, register and find the location nearest you. Look for this story at hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin, did you hear that? We were talking about snow.
I did, and you know what's on my list of things to do? To drive a snowplow someday. I want to do that. I've never done that.
We'll have to make it happen this season.
I've ridden the bike. All right, we'll try and make it happen. We have a snowplow at RTV6. I just need to see if Jay will let me drive it. We get all the cars out of the way. I have ridden the bike unsuccessfully on a number of occasions. I remember my neighbor, John Mason, got a brand new bike. He let me ride it, and I wiped out, and I brought the seat back. It was messed up, the tape on the handlebars, it didn't go well. That was the Monon today up in Broad Ripple. Guess what? Sunshine will be around for riders Friday, Saturday, much of Sunday. As we roll into the weekend, we've got some things to look forward to here. It's all about cloud cover right now. 79 in Indy. Lafayette has some sun breaking through, and their temperature reflects it at 81 degrees. That wind is out of the southwest. Coolest day in the forecast, Friday. But we have nearly 3 mornings. Friday, Saturday, we'll count Sunday because we have 60 in Indy. I think the outlying areas will be in the 50s for low temperatures. Very comfortable mornings on the way. The dip in the humidity, very noticeable as we go Friday into the weekend. Starts to bounce back a little bit by the time we get to Sunday into Labor Day itself. Rain chances will remain very low through that stretch. Tomorrow, 20% chance for a thunderstorm really in the southern third of the state, but we'll say southern half just to play it safe, because until a cold front goes through tomorrow night, we'll hold on to a small chance for rain. Friday, beautiful. Saturday, a very nice day as well. As you look at the forecast tomorrow, 7 a.m., best chance of rain, Bloomington to Richmond south. Some of that rain may be heavy along the Ohio River. Then, as we go through the evening hours, watch to the northwest. See that little line from Terre Haute to Peru in the evening? That's the actual cold front. That will slide through and change everything Friday for the weekend. Temperatures tomorrow with humidity in the 80s. Look at the arrows, how they flip come around out of the northwest. We'll have a nice breeze that will bring in drier temperatures to central Indiana and lower that humidity. I guess drier air and cooler temperatures is what I was trying to say. I combined some things there. You know what I'm talking about. Sunshine Friday, what a great way to end the work week. 78, the modest high temperature. As you go beyond that, I just want to show you Friday. Normally we use our TrueCast to give you timing and location of precipitation. In this case, I'm just going to let the clock change as we roll through the hours with clear skies. That's after starting the morning in the 50s, and the coolest morning will come Saturday at 56. 7-day forecast, first 3 days, temperatures still a little on the mild side or warm side tomorrow. Fridays are the coolest day within the 7-day planner. Next week, there's some variability. The confidence in the Monday through Wednesday temperatures not so great. One model has them well above what's forecast there. Another model has them well below. That's your 7-day forecast. Kyle, of course, has been looking beyond. It's a new month. We turned the calendar page, so what's ahead for September? Kyle has a look.
Yeah, and Kevin, on that calendar page, we find a couple of events coming up this week, or this month rather. Of course, on Monday, we got Labor Day, and then on September 22nd, we will usher in a new season. Fall officially arrives, so will we have some fall-like temperatures? Well, that Climate Prediction Center outlook does put central Indiana in the chance here for some below-average temperatures, and we do some serious cooling here throughout the month. We go from that average high in the lower 80s. By the end of the month, it's 72, and look at that average low. We will drop down to 50 by the time we get to September 30th. As far as rainfall, that forecast is a little more murky here. You find we've got some below average chances to the northwest, above average here to the south. So that puts us in that equal chances category, right around 3 inches or so of rainfall is what we would expect. But as Kevin was alluding to, I think next week plays a big role in how this month will kind of win out for us. That European model is trending warmer and drier with our forecast next week, while the U.S. model a little cooler and a little more on the damp side. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that forecast here and on the WRTV app. Amanda?
Thanks, Kyle. Now, listen to this. What would your dog Callie or maybe Kevin's Rory or my dog Leo think about this? BUSCH has released a beer made just for dogs. It's called Dog Brew by BUSCH. The non-alcoholic bone broth is made from bone-in pork butt, celery, mint, turmeric, and ginger. You can pour the whole can into the water bowl or use it to soften your dog's food. A 4-pack sells online for $10. It's currently sold out, but you can sign up for a waiting list. BUSCH said it will donate $1 for every 4-pack to the Best Friends Animal Society. I'm sure our fur friends would love that. A former bachelorette, a former NFL player, and a Tiger Queen. They're among the 15 people of all walks of life who will soon hit the Dancing with the Stars ballroom. The entire cast revealed today. Coming up. Welcome back. Dancing with the Stars is out with its big celebrity lineup for their 29th season. There's a Super Bowl champ, one of the Backstreet Boys, a talk show host, and ABC's Doreen Shaw has the biggest surprise of them all as she breaks down the celebrities vying to win the coveted Mirrorball Trophy right here on WRTV.
It's the most star-studded dancing competition in the country, and Dancing with the Stars is about to debut a new season unlike any other.
The cast is on fire.
Former NFL player Vernon Davis now aiming to tackle the big Mirrorball Trophy.
I may have a Super Bowl ring, but I need that Mirrorball Trophy.
Daytime talk show host Jeannie Mae from The Real swinging her hips over to the nighttime dance contest.
I'll see you on the dance floor.
And then there's the cheer coach from the docuseries Cheer, Monica Aldama. Former Desperate Housewives gardener Jesse Metcalf.
You thought I had moves on the internet?
TV host Nev Schulman. Former Bachelorette Caitlin Bristow. Backstreet Boy AJ McLean. Real estate mogul Chriselle Staus. Actress, director, and screenwriter Anne Heche. Disney star Sky Jackson.
We all know what goes on in the middle of a dance floor.
One Day at a Time star Justina Machado. Olympic figure skater Johnny Weir. Basketball player Charles Oakley. And the biggest surprise of them all, overnight sensation and Tiger Queen Carole Baskin. In an exclusive on this morning's Good Morning America, Baskin said she actually wanted her dancing to bring the spotlight off her and onto the animals she loves so dearly.
The biggest thing for me is that the longer my partner and I can stay in the running and in the competition, it will keep the cat's forefront in the viewer's eye.
Everyone hoping to stay in the competition as long as possible, but even stars like musician Nelly with no idea how it'll go until that very first dance-off.
And I think this is one that'll set me apart from others if I could pull this one off, only because I got 2 left feet and probably 2 right ankles. So, you know, I'm trying to see where we can go with this thing.
The next big question, which celebrities will be paired with which dancers? That reveal won't come until premiere night, 2 Mondays from now, September 14th, right here on ABC. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A very fun cast there. Learning during a pandemic is not easy, and when you are the parent of a special needs student, there is often a lot more to consider. Tonight at 6, what families are up against and what you can do. And next at 5:30, remembering a man who roared his way into your homes to sell you a car.